There's a story of a guy who pretended to be a lawyer and won 26 cases and he got caught. And he didn't seek a lawyer, he represented himself and still won. Like, it just reminded me that if somebody tells you something, it means something. But if you tell yourself something, it means everything. The universe does not listen to what other people say about you. The universe listens to what you say about yourself. That guy didn't let societal norms define who he is. He told himself that he's a lawyer and he believed it. And he didn't get caught until a later stage. And even when he got caught, he still won against what he was accused of. So that just goes to say that self belief is a frequency. And this whole thing just also reminded me of the workplace that I used to be in, you know? Sometimes you find people in very high positions without qualifications and people with poverty mindset, with scarcity mindset, with people that don't have self belief would naturally assume that that person had connections or they slipped their way there, you know? And maybe sometimes it might be true, but what business is it of ours? Now, what I'm trying to say is that self belief is really important. Self belief is a frequency because at the end of the day, the universe is going to listen to what you say about yourself, not what other people say about yourself. Guys, the universe doesn't reward morals, the universe rewards intention. If you have a poor relationship with yourself, the universe will unfortunately punish you for that. This life needs somebody who has audacity. So if you're playing small, going by the morals, being trying to do things perhaps by the book, trying to be a good girl or a good boy, then unfortunately you're not going to make it in this lifetime because this lifetime, this universe, it rewards the intention behind the action. It does not reward the action on its own. That's why there are women out there that might not be aesthetically pleasing according to the social media's beauty standards, according to the societal beauty standards. When you look at them, you might see somebody who's ugly, but then they have everything. They have a good husband. They have the life that every girl, not every girl, that some girls can dream of. They have a husband or a boyfriend that worships the ground that they walk on, you know? They do not care whether you say they're ugly or they're not visually pleasing because they understand how the universe works. That is why they're winning in this game of life because they understand that what they say to themselves, what they say to the universe is the final word. They do not care what you guys say. They are not even bothered, you know? And there was this African lady, I forgot her name. She was being cyberbullied for her looks. And that didn't stop her. She even became a model and she's thriving, you know? So, guys, what you say to yourself means everything because that is what the universe is gonna listen to, not what other people say. So, tlohella batho ba tlogeng syndrome and just focus on you and the universe because at the end of the day, universe is just you in verse. You know, what you're seeing out there is a reflection of who you are inside. So stop playing small. Stop playing small because the universe is going to treat you like a small boy or girl because that's what you're telling it. By playing small, you are subconsciously telling the universe that you're a small girl or boy, and that is the kind of treatment that you deserve. And that is exactly what the universe will dish out to you. So you better start speaking highly of yourself. Tell yourself that you're the shit. Tell yourself that you are the queen. Normalize it. And not from a place of arrogance. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance is when you're comparing yourself to other people who you are better than the next person, you are more beautiful than the next person. It is not about other people. It is about you becoming better than you were yesterday, becoming a better version of yourself, evolving and growing up. This whole thing is a game. And if you if you don't know how to play and you wanna be a good girl or a good boy and play small, then unfortunately uzokhala impilo yakho yonke. You'll ask, why do bad things happen to good people? It is because the universe does not reward morals. It rewards the intention. A person might seem to be a good people to y'all, ne? Lona le bona a saint, a good person, but the deep-rooted belief they're acting from a place of trauma, you know, because they're afraid that if they show who they really are, then they will be rejected because they got conditioned when they were young that being themselves, being authentic, and putting themselves first is not good, you know? So it is time to take off the mask, guys. It is time to stop playing small. It is time to stop downplaying or downsizing yourself. Because the more you continue with that, trying to manage other people's image of you, a good girl or a good guy, then unfortunately, shame, uzokhala. That is why people up there, like people who have money, people who are in high positions, they're considered rude or heartless because they have outgrown their wounds of playing small and of being a good girl or a good boy. They go with what they tell themselves because they know that the intention behind their actions are pure. Even though you guys might see it from a different perspective, you see things as you are, not as they are. And until you stop looking at it through the lens which you want it to be, then you're never going to see it for what it is, you know? So people perceive things through the level of their trauma or level of their healing, you know? So just remember that what you say to yourself means everything to the universe. The universe takes your word, not other people's word.